Good afternoon, lads. Welcome back. My week 7 recap. It is a day late. I apologize. I had a work function until about 10 yesterday. Didn't want to do it after, so I'm doing it today. Maybe later tonight I will do the predictions, but I have more work to get done around 7 and 8, so maybe later I'll film it and then put it out tomorrow. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Week 7 is in the books. It's horrifying to say, but we are halfway through the fantasy football season, the regular season. But still, it'll be the regular season for at least Hayden, Sutton, Brett. Yeah. Anyway, so as you can see here, Scott 7-0, Rob Fraud Hodge at 5-2. We got a big contingent at 4-3, a couple people at 3-4, and then the bottom barrel guys down there. I will get into them ad nauseum because they're horrendous. They're more fun to talk about than Scott. I'm going to get into the first matchup here, the first recap, but it comes with a new guest speaker. Take it away, Mr. Adam Sutton.
All right, boys, checking in. Manager of Boats and Hogs, Adam Sutton here. At a loss for words. Checking in right now at 1-6, soon to be 1-7 at the end of this week. To put it in words, as a commissioner, this team's just bad. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams this week, starting Caleb Williams, that's on me. It's manager error. Barkley coming in, 6-point games, sub 6-point games. That's terrible for, what I get him, round pick number 5 of the draft? What the hell is that? We got fucking Scary Terry out. That's bad. We got Herschel out. That's bad. I got nothing in the wide receiver room. Running backs, shit in the bed left and right. I don't know what's preventing me from jumping off this crane right now, but it's certainly not this fantasy football team.
Well said, Adam Sutton. Your team sucks. In your defense, it's not all your fault. Saquon felt like a pretty safe round 1 pick. I probably wouldn't have drafted Terry. I don't remember where you took him, but he was still coming off an insane fantasy year. 13 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. Ladd was primed second year to come in and just be Justin Herbert's guy. Breece Hall, basically the only mouth to feed on the Jets offense, who no one thought they were going to be good, but no one thought they were going to be this bad. And then just Pearsall just out. It's rough. I'm sure you lost other guys to injuries. I don't remember. You said it yourself. Starting Caleb instead of Bo, bad choice. Luckily, it didn't matter. You can't really see, but Rag won 150-84. If Saquon keeps playing like this, Sutton's not going to win a game. It's just everything after. You look at Caleb Williams to Ladd McConkey, you're like, okay, just getting unlucky. And then you go Rashid Shaheed, Zach Ertz, Kenneth Booty. It's horrendous. It's bad. I'm going to say this about a couple other teams, but Sutton needs to start trading. I don't know how, because none of these guys have any value. What are you going to sell Saquon for pennies on the dollars? I don't know. I don't know how to make this team better. I don't foresee good things in Adam Sutton's future. But like you said, 1-6, no signs of stopping on that one. I think he has a lucky matchup this week, so maybe, but who knows. Rag, 150. That was good for third highest score this week, which is kind of nuts. You got to give up on CJ Stroud, dude. It's getting bad. Matt Stafford was healthy and he was playing. Why is he on your bench? What? It's not like Stroud was playing some rollover defense. And Stafford 27. There's just no logical reason that you should not be starting Matt Stafford over CJ Stroud. It angers me greatly, and I really wish it would have cost you this week. But it's obviously cost you in the past because you only have 3 wins, you little bitch. Javonte's been great. And Jacoby Brissett apparently just loves loves McBride. Also, Kyler's career is over. He's done. Kyler's done. That sucks for you, Rag. I know you're a Cardinals guy and specifically a Kyler's guy, so he fucking sucks. All right, next matchup. And yes, you can't really see that, but that does indeed say Rob beat Mikosi 86-81 and then had the audacity in the group chat yesterday to say, great gritty win from the fellas, ready for the commissioner this week. Gritty win? No! You were handed a win. Mikosi didn't break 82. Scoring 86, all your players sucking except Jonathan Taylor and saying gritty win. This is why the hashtag Rob sucks is not going anywhere. The pure audacity from this kid. Oh my God. It angered me greatly. Yeah. Rob and Scott. Obviously, this is why they're at the top. Like, can't really fault them. Like Rob said, you can't control who you play against, but I'm still going to shit on you for it. Rob and Scott have 50 plus less points against than the next closest, who is Mikosi, which is why he has 4 wins. And then they have 100 plus less than any of the next people. Like, it's just crazy. Like, it is undeniably why they're at the top, which, like I said, they can't control it, but still, I still get to shit on them for it. Anyway, let's get in the matchup. My synopsis for Rob's team is everybody sucks except Jonathan Taylor. Baker will bounce back, I'm sure. Rob, at this moment, though, is a JT merchant. Godwin's hurt again. Ayuk, I saw that Shanahan said no timetable for his return, really. He's not practicing yet. BTJ is now hurt. Roma Dunes has fallen off. And Pickens has CD back, so he's wide receiver 2. This team, no prospects for an RB2, wide receiver core in shambles. I'd be nervous if I was Rob. Just saying. Speaking of nervous, I would be horrified if I was Mikosi. Drake May's been great. Genty got absolutely bottled. Chuba Hubbard is running back 2 now. Nico's hurt. Debo's hurt. Garrett Wilson is hurt. He went from having the best wide receiver room hands down to it literally just being Rashee Rice. Mikosi is in real trouble of starting like 4-1 and missing the playoffs. This team sucks. It's bad. Unless his boys get healthy, then he goes back to being a really solid team. Both these guys, injuries, buys, nervous. Okay. Other 1-6 team, Hayden gets absolutely just blown out by Pushan. Pushan scores is 135. Hayden scores 64. Just reading you off Hayden's scores this season. Starting with week 1, he scored 66, and then he went 142. But then he went 83, 89, 85, 97, 64. Fuck. That's horrendous. This team is horrendous. Without Bucky, there's not a single good player here. His best player is Jaylen Warren, who is the running back 26. This team is fucking horrifying to look at, and it makes me a little bit sad, honestly. It's another example of, if I was him, I'd be selling the fucking farm, but I don't know who's buying these bums. I don't know. I'm not talking anymore about Hayden's team. This is fucking ugly. Pushan, you kind of wasted an A.J. Brown game, but hey, I will hand up. I was so wrong about Chris Olave. I think he's wide receiver 9 right now with Spencer Rattler as his QB. Chris Olave might be that guy. He needs to get traded. Alvin Kamara needs to get traded. Free all the Saints skill players. Pushan's lost Evans, and now Downs is banged up, so I'm not really sure. He might have to start Jennings. He gets Henry back, but then Monty goes on a bye next week. It's nerve-wracking for Pushan, but this is a good win. He stays above 500, which is huge for him. And yeah, I think Pushan, considering how many bad teams there are and how many teams that are more injured than him, I think he's probably in a pretty solid place to go like 7-7, 8-6, and be pretty solidly in the playoffs. Tyler Warren has been a godsend for this team. And Brandon Aubrey is one of the most incredible athletes I've ever seen. That 61-yard field goal against the Commies, he made it look like a fucking extra point. It was so easy. Oh my God. All right, I'll move on to the next matchup. All right, next matchup is Evan Clay beaten Brett. Both these teams had 2 wins coming in. It was an important game for both of them. Clay gets up off the mat. Brett's shambly team falls down to 2-5. It doesn't look good for Brett. And honestly, it doesn't look good over here either, but we'll start with Brett. Mooney is not a legit option. I don't think he's broken 10 points yet this season. It's just, if Penix is going to sling the ball, it's only going to Drake London. And he doesn't sling the ball very often because Bijan's so sick. George Kittle, I'm sure Brett was hyped to have him back. He had 2 targets, 0 receptions. Their game plan was just hand the ball to CMC. And the Falcons' game plan was just hand the ball to Bijan, so that game apparently stunk. I was in a deep commies depressive state, so I didn't watch much of it. Bad commissioner, I know. Hand up. I got to watch more ball. Waddle was fun, but now I think Tua might just get benched. I don't know who his backup is. Again, hand up. Should know that. But Waddle might become unplayable as that Dolphins offense declines. I've said it for weeks. Kenneth Gainwell, not a legit option while Warren's in. And Jordan Mason is more realistically like a flex. Maybe an RB2 in our league. I don't know. Brett's team, it's CeeDee Lamb. He'll get Flowers back this week. Lamar finally practiced. I don't think he'll be back this week, but you never know. It's bad for Brett. 2-5 is scary, especially considering some of the matchups this week where Hayden and Sutton could sneak out a win. Clay, much needed win. Got off the mat just before Jaden got hurt. He's not playing Monday night. Hammy, I don't think he'll play. God, I don't know. Depending on how bad it is, you don't want to sit him until the bye, but we have 4 more games till the bye. He might sit until post-bye, and at that point, our season might be over, so he might just sit till then. So you're kind of fucked. Our waivers for QBs are horrible. Not a great team, but CMC is ridiculous. He's probably going to end up with 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. I think he's 7th in receiving yards this season. He's been absurd. Very, very sneaky, quiet, carrying the Niners to an incredible record and being the best fantasy player. But that's about it for Clay's team. Metcalf's not consistent. Dowdle with Chubbard back. Chubbard? It's combined his name. With him back is not going to be consistent. Jerry Jeudy hasn't broken 10 points yet this season. And Ramondre's up and down. He did just try and trade me Bowers for Devontae Smith straight up. I'm rostering 2 wide receivers, so I can't really give one of them away for an injured, shitty tight end. It's not shitty, that's mean. Injured and unproductive so far this season tight end, especially when my wide receiver's coming off a career week. So, no. Good win, though. Had to get off the mat. 3 wins. Sneak out a win this week against Scott, 4-4. You are so in the playoffs there. All right, this was a big matchup for the league. Cal talked a whole lot of shit and got his ass thoroughly whooped. You can't talk that much shit and then not break 100. It's bad. Bill, he's been so disappointing. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with our offense. But Bill sucked. He benched Higgins, which is insane, especially considering that he started Trey Tucker. It's not insane if you have another option, but fucking shit, dude. It's Geno throwing to him. He had 1 good game. Take Tucker out of your fucking lineup. So Higgins better be starting. Egbuka, with all the other injuries, obviously he's wide receiver 1 with Baker. He'll be fine, but he's getting a lot of attention from opposing backs, so he's kind of going to get swarmed. There's no other options other than Sterling Shepard. It's tough. Pacheco was fine. I thought for a second that Hunt was going to be hurt, and that would have been very good for Pacheco owners. Cal, I would be nervous. Bijan's very good, but otherwise this team is looking very, very scary, especially since Kenneth Walker is no longer a viable starter. Scott, 7-0, guaranteed a playoff spot based on the history of the league. I don't know if there's ever been a 7-win team that hasn't made it, maybe once. But if you get to 8, it will shoot to 100% predicted, but you're in. Congrats. 4th highest score this week. So not that Mickey Mouse, even though no one scored 100 against you. Caught a Marvin Mims day, which is fun. Your running backs are sick. Devontae Adams, if Puka stays out longer, Devontae Adams is going to be a league winner for you, Scott. That's going to be insane. The RB room of Scatabo and Achane, just like speed, and then CTE is awesome. Drake London's awesome. Ferguson just shredded the commies. It was awesome. We're so dead. Anyway, Scott, 7-0. I will say I never expected this, but thank you for beating Cal. We all thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, a fantastic matchup here. Ish and Thomas. Ish beats him 156-150. This has to be the highest scoring matchup in the history of the league, and 150 has to be the highest score without winning in our league history. It's 14 men, so that's crazy. Ish dropped 156 with Bryce Young starting, who got injured and put up 10 points. Gibbs was awesome. JSN has been insane. Courtland Sutton, weird. He's been good. These defenses both played good. Swift has been awesome. Ish's team, very solid. He's at 4-3. If he rattles off one or two more wins, scary team to see in the playoffs. The problem is, next week, I think he has like everyone on bye, pretty much. At least JSN and Gibbs, so he's fucked. Thomas, 150 and a loss. That is horrifying to see. Hurts gave a classic Hurts performance. I went back and looked. 5 of his 7 games have been between 19 and 24 points. He had an 11 and he had a 29. So those even right back into right at 20. Hurts is guaranteed 20 points. It's hilarious. Charbonnet gets the goal line touches. That's fun. Amon-Ra's awesome. Tucker Kraft's been awesome. Just nothing to say here. The team looks fine. Addison's getting a lot of good touches. Team's fine. Same as Ish. Couple more wins. Get in the playoffs. You'll be scary. Just brutal loss. Oh my God. And finally, I get to talk about myself. Yeah. I survived my Bills bye week. Cook and Allen out. I started Spencer Rattler against Kyle, and I beat him pretty soundly. It was fun. Huge win to get the commish back on track after losing to Pushan. And I did it not on the backs of the running backs who've been so good. It was my wide receivers. Jamar Chase, 24 targets for 16 receptions. Oh my God, that was a fun game to watch. Sorry, Steelers fans. And then Devonta Smith, his career day, when I needed him most. Shout out. The real MVP of this matchup, though, is Tua. There was a point in this where both our quarterbacks were in the negatives, and I was like, oh my God, why didn't I start a different quarterback? Why on earth did I do Spencer Rattler? And then he came out and threw 2 touchdowns, got into the positive points. Tua is horrendous. It saved me. I was a little nervous about Jacobs. Oh, Pittman's been great. Judkins, he wasted a Judkins game. This started off Judkins with 3 touchdowns, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to get fucked here. And then Devonta caught one. Oh my God. I needed this so bad. Kyle needed it bad, but I think his team is in a better spot than me right now, especially if he gets Puka back. If he gets Puka back, this team is legitimately scary. And if I was Kyle, I would look to trade because this team has legit depth. Puka, he's got Travis Hunter. I know TreVeyon Henderson is bad, but it still has some value. Judkins, you don't need White right now because if Puka comes back, you'll move Judkins up into the 2 and then Puka into the flex. Jacobs is ridiculous. There's a lot of depth here, a lot to be excited about. Feels like Kyle just keeps getting bad beats. Thankfully, I was one of them. I needed this. Fuck you, Kyle. So yeah, here, another positive week for me on my picks, on my predictions. Funny enough, I picked Kyle to beat me, so I lost that one. I also, for some reason, picked Hayden, and for some reason, picked Brett. I remember saying that those were big swings, but I don't remember them being that stupid. That pisses me off that I did that. Should have just picked myself. Should have just played it safe, but here we are. I will either see you later tonight or tomorrow with the predictions. Adios, fellas.